Audio check 1 2 3. Oh, here we are then, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome along to the Motive Racing YouTube channel for the latest round in Excel's Realistic F1 League here on a Monday night. If you haven't already, guys, join the Excel F1 Discord server. In fact, let me just pop that in the description because I haven't got an up-to-date link there in the description, so let me just sort that out right now. But you join us here at Portimao for, I don't know which round this is, but I think we're a little way into the season now. It must be still the relatively early stages, but I think we're a fair chunk of the way into the season, so we're getting into the thick of it. I did briefly see some standings as we were starting up in the lobby. I think it's Bennett who leads the championship at the moment. But we're currently on a bit of a crossover here in this qualifying session because it started wet. The track is now drying out, and we've seen a couple of drivers try and put the sticks on. And, well, we've also seen a couple of drivers crash out of the session. So Andrew Pittsmith and Horatio have both put the slick tyres on. We've seen Tree Monkey Page, Enmorph and Paul Cod all pushing it a little bit too hard as they're trying to find the extra grip here as the track starts to dry out. But we've got 3.5 minutes left to go here in this session, and at the moment it's Mark Bowe sitting atop of the timing board, but it's unlikely that's going to be the pole time because we know that the track is only going to get better as this session goes on. So I don't think we're going to be seeing the be all end all in terms of times here. I think there's still a bit more to be continued at this point, but we shall see how this pans out over the course of the next 3 and a bit minutes. If you are just joining us, let us know who you are, what you're doing, what you're up to this evening. Let us know who you're rooting for in the comments. Who's your favourite? Are you a friend, relative, or otherwise associate of any of the drivers out on track tonight? And if you are, then sing their praises and tell us who they are, as we see Mark Bowe just coming through the final part of his outlap at the moment. He's about to start another flying lap here. We've got Aldrich Avist, looks like he's bringing into the pits. He needs to get his skates on if he's going to get out in time. I think he's probably going to put the soft tyres on, or maybe the mediums, and try and get a lap in before the end there. Maybe take a risk and throw caution to the wind, try and find that time that he needs to put himself on pole position. We've got Malky sat in 4th at the moment in the McLaren. He's not gone quicker on that previous lap. I think that might have been an outlap there for him. Andrew Pittsmith is one of those who has taken a big gamble here and has put the soft tyres on. I don't know if this is an outlap. If it is, it's not a bad one. He's only 7 seconds off of his personal best, but let's see what Andrew Pittsmith can do here. In fact, let's ride on board with him because this is going to really tell us what the state of play is with the soft. It looks like he lost a couple of seconds there in that final sector, so at the moment the gamble's not really paying off. It seems like inters are really the only way to go at the moment, as Andrew's, look at that, he's tiptoeing here through the first sector, not at all on the limit. And maybe, just maybe, that's a little bit of a gamble, but who knows, as the track continues to dry out, maybe it will pay dividends on his final run of the session. But Mark Bowe looking good at the top of the leaderboard. I said before, I think that the track will continue to dry out, but maybe the question is, the crossover could stay in that spot where it's wet enough to not need to obviously it's too wet for the slicks, but it might also be not wet enough for the inters to work properly, in which case we could be seeing the times stay as they are and we might be seeing no improvements. That is a real possibility at this stage in the session, that we are in that damned if you do, damned if you don't, double-edged sword sort of zone where you just can't win. You know, ultimately, no matter what you do, your tyres are going to burn up if you're on the inters, and if you're on the slicks, they're not going to have any grip. So you know what you're supposed to do. Like, geez. But anyway, struggle is real. But a minute left to go here in this qualifying session at the moment. Mark Bowe still, yeah man, sat at the top of that leaderboard. We've got double waved yellow flags through sector 2. Don't know exactly what is occurring with that, but at the moment the gap between Mark Bowe and Aldrich Avist is only 0.003 of a second, so Aldrich's not going to find much if he wants to take pole here. He's still going to have to really push though in the final part of this qualifying session. Malky and Andrew Pittsmith both in the pits, as is Bennett. Polish My Balls is on an outlap. Everybody else is out on track trying to improve here in the closing stages of this session. Is Aldrich going to get round in time? Is he in the final sector yet? I think he's coming through the final part. No, he's coming out the last corner now, so Aldrich Avist will get around in time to do another lap, as we see Ben Smith's connection really doing him dirty at the moment. But Mark Bowe's coming through the sector 2. Big slide there as he's 7/10 down on his personal best, so the inters starting to not really work so well, but it's not really time for the soft either. So we are literally at that horrible spot where it's too wet for the slicks to work, but it's also just a little bit too dry for the inters to really heat up properly. Oh, as we see, there's a tyre there in the middle of the track. Don't know what that's all about, but somebody's lost it quite severely. Having said that, nobody new has crashed out of the session, so that must have been there for quite some time. As we see Aldrich Avis there, very out of shape there, and it looks like that's going to be his session done. I don't think he's going to improve on his P2. Mark Bow, the provisional pole sitter, is into the pits. Aldrich Avis, he ain't going to go faster on this lap. Malky Andrew Pittsmith in the pits. What about Horatio? He's only a 10th off of his personal best. His personal best is only 6/10 off of the pole time. So I'll tell you what, if the final sector's dried out a little bit, if the track conditions have improved coming through this final part of the lap, then maybe Horatio might have a chance of snatching pole here. Sand's also out there on the track, as is Polish My Balls, but let's keep an eye on Horatio here, as he's got just a few corners left to go. He's now up on his personal best, coming through the middle sector checkpoint. Horatio, if he can find maybe 6/10 of a second, if the track's improved substantially in the final part of this lap, maybe Horatio might be able to snatch pole away from Mark Bow. Can he get himself on the front two rows? Possibly, if he can't get it on pole. Here he comes. Out of the last corner comes Horatio. Full commitment there. Looking pretty good. Out of the last corner. Very wide there. Out of the last corner as he comes up towards the line. Can he improve? He does improve, but he doesn't improve enough to move himself up the order. He stays in P7 there. Aldrich Avis is a mile off of his personal best. He's 13 seconds down on his previous best lap time, so that's not going to be an improvement there for him. Polish My Balls is going to be the last driver to complete a lap time, and this looks like a quick one, to be fair. Polish My Balls is on a decent lap here. Could he maybe get himself up the sharp end? As he crosses over the line, he goes in 8th place there, so he moves himself up 4 places on that final run of the session. So Polish My Balls there, putting himself into the top 10. So Mark Bow is going to start this one on pole here ahead of Aldrich Avis. Tree Monkey Page did a lap time good enough for 3rd place before his untimely exit from the session. We got Malky there in 4th place on the 2nd row. Andrew Pittsmith in 5th place with Emmerworth in 6th, followed by Horatio in P7. Polish My Balls in 8th, then Bennett LCSC 9th. San in 10th, Ben Smith 11th, Blue Devil Fan in 12th. Nobby Bootneck 13th, Paul Cod 14th, and Soph will be lining up at the back of this one in 15th place. So that is that then for the qualifying session for the Realistic League here at Excel on a Monday night. This league is a little bit of an interesting one in that the cars are actually based on real life performance. So you've got cars like the Red Bull and the Mercedes, the quickest cars on the grid. I don't think, I'm just looking at the order here, but I don't know if we've got anybody in the Red Bull or Mercedes actually. Don't know, maybe they've banned them because they're so OP. Oh no, Polish My Balls is in the Mercedes. But yeah, and Sophie's in the Red Bull as well. Sophie hasn't done a lap in the session though, so that's going to obviously not be what she would have wanted ideally in an ideal world, but just experiencing a bit of lag here at the end of this qualifying session. I would feel something is delaying us a little bit from actually getting through to the end of the session, from getting the standings up on the screen and proceeding to the race. So I don't know exactly what's occurred in here, but hopefully that sorts itself out. But sit tight here, ladies and gentlemen, as we are going to get going for the race pretty shortly. Maybe we're going to have to do the manual grid again. I think possibly they're going to have to make a new session and restart the whole thing, because I don't think it's working at the minute. This is not good. Alright, we'll sit tight, ladies and gentlemen. We're gonna stay on the stream. I'll give it 5 minutes or so, see what's going on. If you want, grab a drink, grab a coffee, do what you gotta do, and yeah, have a smoke and whatnot. Not that I encourage smoking. And yeah, we'll be back once we know what's going on. Here we are then, ladies and gentlemen. We're moments away from the start of the Portuguese Grand Prix for the XL Realistic F1 League here on a Monday night on the Codemasters Formula 1 game here on the PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5. Had a bit of a delay there getting the race going, as it looked as though there was some kind of server issues, but fingers and toes and every single part of my body that can be crossed, hoping that this doesn't affect the race in any way, shape or form, as it looks like we're now entering another countdown here. That's not what we wanted to see, as obviously we just had the 30-second countdown. Now we've got an additional countdown. Oh, Porsche Mobiles has joined the lobby, so that bodes well. Hopefully he'll be able to take part in the race. Maybe that's why we had the extra countdown there, to give Porsche Mobiles the opportunity to get his car set up and his strategy and all of that kerfuffle done. As here we are then, we're about to line up on the grid at Portimao for the Portuguese Grand Prix here. Looks like it's a dry one for the race. Obviously we had a wet qualifying session and it's lights out and away we go. And it is a good start there from Mark Bow. Aldrich Atvisto challenging up towards turn one. It looks like they're side by side. Aldrich Atvisto is going to take the apex there. Mark Bow very wide, holds it around the outside of VSC. A safety car already, and Soph is out of the race. Oh no, Soph has crashed out straight away here, and looks as though she went into the back of Ben Smith. Ben is able to continue on his way, but Soph is out of the race after... I mean, I'll be surprised if she drove 10 metres there, to be fair. I really don't know what's occurred there, but, well, I mean, it's Mark Bow leading, and Ben Smith has been caught out behind the safety car, so I think he'll go a lap down, by the looks of it. Yeah, that's a bit of a strange one. So, oh no, Ben has been released from behind the safety car now, so the safety car is just trundling along through the first sector there. But Mark Bow leading the race ahead of Aldrich Avis, Triumph Page in third, Polish Mobiles fourth, followed by Malky in fifth, Andrew Pittsmith in sixth place, followed by Enmorph in seventh, Horatio eighth, Bennett in ninth, San 10th, Paul Cod 11th, Blue Devil Turn 12th, Nobby Bootneck in 13th place, and Ben Smith round out the 14 cars that are still out on track at the moment. And we believe that the safety car is driving around somewhere on the track, so Mark Bow will most likely pick up the safety car pretty shortly. But we see Aldrich Avis here pulling the trigger at the end of the first lap, bringing it into the pits. No surprise there. I've got to say that's pretty much a no-brainer in a situation like this. So Mark Bow able to continue on his way. Actually, a lot of drivers opting to stay out on the track here. I suppose it's only one lap in, so you're not really going to get a major tyre advantage by coming in at this point in the race, but definitely opens up the strategy if you're on the soft tyres. But then again, these guys maybe want to get the most out of their tyres, want to get the peak performance and end up pushing as much as they can in this first stint, so that could be why. As we see Roger Bridges in the comments says Vark Tech, Sarah Walker. Echoing those sentiments there, Vark Tech. Well, yeah, I mean, let's just have a look at this. Let's Google this. Let's see what this is. What is Vark Tech? God knows what that is. Oh, okay, it's a spam comment. All right.
Okay, so what the?
All right, so Vark.tech is a scam. Right then, do not put in these malicious links in my videos. Right. Ah, right, okay. So it's a scam of some sort. Ah. Okay. Right then. Right then, cool. Okay then, so whoever typed out that message in the comments has now got access to my computer, so hey, nice one. I use this computer for the legit stuff. But anyway, Got Mark Bodie in the race under the safety car right now, ahead of Aldrich, Avis, Tree Monkey Page there in third, ahead of Polish My Balls, Malky, Edmorph, Horatio, San, Paul Cobb, Blue Devil Fern, Ben Smith, and then we got Bennett, Andrew Pittsmith, and Nobby Bootneck, who have all been into the pits for fresh tyres. Not that those tyres are going to pay much dividends due to the fact that we are only one lap into the race. Plus, it's all been under the safety car practically, so it's not going to make a whole lot of difference there, but nonetheless, 14 cars out on the track here on the Motive Racing YouTube channel here for XL's Formula 1 Realistic League. Oh dear. Let's get a lovely shot of the whole pack coming through there. Beautiful. It's a lovely track, this Portimao circuit. I do really enjoy watching it. I mean, it's so picturesque, you know, it's just got such beautiful landscape. You've got the mountains, you've got the undulation. It's just such an exquisite sight to behold, as we are now watching the pack just back up here, coming towards the final couple of corners. Mark Bow will want to try and catch him out, will want to try and land a knockout blow when they're least expecting it. Let's see if he can do that effectively here. As we're on a lap 3 of 33 in this race. And looks like Mark Bowes putting his foot to the floor. We are underway once again. Is Aldrich Avis going to go with him here? Aldrich gets a great reaction there and is towing him all the way down the start-finish straight. But Mark Bowes got a lower downforce setup, clearly pulling away from Aldrich Avis down the straight. As we all come into turn 1 now, we see there San looking to the inside of age ratio, can't get anything done there. Paul Codd a little bit wide on the back of San there, as we got Blue Devil fan, Ben Smith, Bennett LCFC down to 12th on the restart. Actually, that was where he was after he made his pit stop, and Andrew Pittsmith and Nobby Bootneck rounding out the field at the moment, but Aldrich Avis all over the back of Mark Bow. And Paul Codd is out of the race. Paul Codd has DNF'd here on lap 4 of the race. What a shame there for him. As we've got double waved yellow flags through sector 1, fingers crossed we get that done under the double waved yellow flags. Let's hope that these Portuguese marshals are on point, and yes, in fact they are absolutely superhuman. They have managed to clear up the accident within about 10 seconds of it occurring, so well done to the marshals here at Portimao. Hats off to you, boys and girls, well done. As we see Mark Bow, Aldrich Avis and Tree Monkey Page pulling our way a little bit already here. You've got Polish My Balls there in 4th place ahead of Malky. There's Edmorph just behind. Oh, as we see McLaren there ever so wide. San going off a little bit. Edmorph's down the inside of Malky. Ben Smith has got ahead of Andrew Pittsmith here, up into 11th place. So Ben there getting himself up a position, but Mark Bow leading the race ahead of Aldrich Avis as we're coming towards the end of the first lap. Aldrich wants to get this done quickly because he's on the soft tyres compared to Mark Bow, who's on the mediums. So Aldrich should have the pace advantage. He needs to make this work whilst he can. Tree Monkey Page in 3rd place there. You've got Polish My Balls a little way off of the back of these guys in 4th place. Edmorph there in 5th. Has got Horatio looking to make the move here. Horatio down around the outside there of Edmorph up into 5th place. Malky looking to try and join this battle if he can. And the two McLarens of Malky and San all over the back of Horatio and Edmorph at this point. But now Horatio starting to try and break away from this pack now. He's got ahead of Edmorph up into 5th place. But it's Mark Bow leading by 3/10 of a second ahead of Aldrich Avis. Tree Monkey Page pretty close behind. Polish My Balls. There's Horatio in the background. Edmorph, Malky, San, Blue Devil fan. Got Malky, San's looking all over the back of his teammate Malky there, coming in towards that tight left-hander. Blue Devil, Bennett's picked up a couple of drivers up into 10th place here since the restart. Andrew Pittsmith a little way off, has got Ben Smith and Nobby Bootneck a little way behind him in 12th and 13th places, currently batting it out for the minor scraps here in this race. But Mark Bow keeping pace with Aldrich Avis, despite Aldrich being on the faster tyre. Mark Bow showing he's got plenty there at the moment. Obviously Mark Bow driving in the Alpha Tauri, quite a he's sort of done well with that one because he's a quick driver, is Mark Bow, and the Alpha Tauri is not a bad car at all, very underrated. I mean, it's pretty good in terms of the performance. I think it was the 5th best car during the 2021 season, so he's kind of like, he's got a reasonable sweet spot there. He's a quick driver, he's in a decent car for this realistic league so at XL. So you know, Mark Bowe's doing a good job right now. Tree Monkey Page in the other Alpha Tower. He's looking down the inside of Aldrich Avis into turn 1. Can't get it done. Polish My Balls there, and in 4th place in the Mercedes. You've got Horatio, Enmorph, Malky, San. Bennett's got ahead of Blue Devil Fan up into 9th place. Is he going to hold it? Yes, he does. Bennett gets himself up another position. Polish My Balls has left the session doing his traditional disconnect and then reconnect and then disconnect and then reconnect and then in and out and in and out and shaking it all about, as we see San there up into 7th place ahead of Malky. That's what it's all about. But we've still got Mark Bowe in this race by 0.3 of a second ahead of Aldrich Avis. Aldrich is just hassling the back of him, trying to cling on to the back of him if he can. Tree Monkey Page keeping tabs on these guys at the moment. They've kind of just left Polish My Balls for dead a little bit here, and Polish My Balls has now got Horatio starting to reel him in, as we see now the gap's only 1.5 seconds between those two. Nobby Bootneck's got himself ahead of Ben Smith up into 12th place. Lots of action going on right now, as we got Enmorph has only got 0.6 of a second back to San at this point. Bennett's now hassling the back of Malky here, trying to get himself up into 8th place. Bennett LCFC starting this race on the hard tyres as well, so that's going to obviously be advantageous for him. He's got a bit of a strategic ace up his sleeve in terms of what he can do later on in the race. He can go long into this first stint, and who knows, maybe put the soft on at the end compared to the other guys who might have to go for a stint on the mediums. So fair play to Bennett. He's really making the most at the moment. He's currently trying to get himself onto the back of, or trying to get himself ahead of Malky up into 8th place. We can see Horatio's going to try and make the move on Polish My Balls down the start finish straight. He's down the inside here. Polish My Balls on the outside is powerless to do anything about it, and Horatio gets himself up into 4th place. Sands making the move on Enmorph around the outside there up into P6 ahead of Enmorph, as we see Tree Monkey Page has got ahead of Aldrich Avis. Aldrich Avis has made a mistake there, and he's lost out to Tree Monkey Page. And Tree Monkey Page has also got DRS down this part of the track as well, but so has Aldrich Avis, as they both got DRS on Mark Bowe in front of them. But Tree Monkey Page completes the move up into 2nd place, and it's an Alpha Tauri 1-2 at this point, so that's very good news there for the Alpha Tauri team, as Horatio there running in 4th place ahead of Polish My Balls. San there running in 6th with Enmorph just behind. Malky there in 8th has got Bennett LCFC within half a second of him at the moment. Andrew Pittsmith has really gained on these guys as well on those soft tyres. He'll be looking to try and make gains here whilst he can, because those soft tyres are not going to last forever. You've got Blue Devil Fan there in 11th place. Nobby Bootneck a little way behind, has pulled away a little bit from Ben Smith, but these two hopelessly detached here in this race in the early stages. Mark Bowe got the lead ahead of Tree Monkey Page. Aldrich Avis is kept to the back of Tree Monkey Page despite being passed by him earlier in this lap. Can Aldrich Avis try and get a run here? They're all going to have DRS. It's going to be a bit of a DRS train, so Aldrich's not going to really make any gains here. But Tree Monkey Page within 0.4 of a second of Mark Bowe. This could be the lead here for Tree Monkey Page. He's going to get that closing speed. Mark Bowe could be vulnerable here to an attack here, as now Tree Monkey Page is looking all over him coming in towards turn 1, but Mark Bowe holds on to that position for the time being. Aldrich's dropped off of these guys a little bit coming to that part of the track, as we see Andrew Pittsmith now side by side here with Bennett LCFC, and down the inside goes Andrew. Can Bennett hold it around the outside? He's sticking with it, as we see Andrew just running him out of road a little bit there. Andrew Pittsmith's not giving this one up, and he's down the inside for turn 2 and completes that move up into 9th place there. So Andrew gets ahead of Bennett, can now pull up onto the back of Malky here in this battle for 8th, 9th and 10th places, and Blue Devil Fan not far off the back of these guys as well. But Mark Bowe out the front has got a 0.4 of a second lead over Tree Monkey Page. Aldrich Avis there running in 3rd place, a second separating the top 3. They've pulled out 4 seconds from Horatio, but Horatio's pulling away from Polish My Balls since getting ahead of him. And to be fair, Horatio's keeping the gap to the 3 leaders around the same. He's not really falling off. It just took him a little while to get going, and unfortunately for him, he's got a little bit of a job to do here in this race if he is to win this or to even get on the podium. But Andrew Pittsmith has got himself ahead of Malky up into 8th. Now Bennett's looking to try and knock Malky while he's down here. Can he get this move done? Malky very wide there coming through that section of the track, and Bennett does move himself around the outside up into 9th place. Blue Devil Fan very wide there in the background behind these, but Malky there losing a couple of positions in the space of a lap, so definitely not what he would have wanted or needed or desired or hoped for before the start of this race. But we now see Aldrich Avis into the pits, and Tree Monkey Page is making the move on Mark Bowe. Down the inside he goes into turn 1. He completes the move there up into the lead, so nicely done there from Tree Monkey Page. He's started this one in 3rd place. He's moved himself up 2 positions, and Tree Monkey Page can now dictate the pace on those soft tyres, which will not be in the sweet spot for much longer, as we're 8-9 laps into the race. So he needs to really eke the performance out of them whilst he can, because those medium tyres are going to come back to Mark Bowe, and Mark Bowe will have an advantage in a lap or so's time, and Tree Monkey Page probably have to come into the pits at some point and either put the mediums or the hards on. But right now he's got the lead, he's got the ascendancy, and can try and push as much as he can. Where is what's happened? with Aldrich Avis. He's down in 11th place now. He's put another set of softs on, so I would assume that he's going to put the mediums on. He's going to do one stint on the soft, I imagine, probably go to about lap 18 or 19 or something like that, and then put the mediums on. So Aldrich Avis definitely on a 2-stopper by the looks of it. But at the moment, True Monkey Page out in front doing the business, has pulled out a little bit of a buffer here to Mark Bow since getting ahead of him. He's not in acres of space by any means, but he's certainly comfortable to him. I think he might just about be out of DRS here. It's going to be quite close actually. The time board's deserted us. No, he isn't out of DRS, but he's far enough away to not be in too much danger from the chasing driver behind him. Horatio keeping the gap at around 5 seconds to the leaders. You've got San Enmorph pretty close here, and now Enmorph is looking to try and make the move on Polish My Balls is looking to try and make the move on Enmorph here as he goes down the inside of the Haas, and the Mercedes gets itself up into 5th place there. Polish My Balls has been jumping in and out of the session, but it seems like he's actually there at the moment, which is good to see. As Enmorph there running in 5th place ahead of Polish My Balls. Andrew Pittsmith there running just behind Polish My Balls. Oh, Polish My Balls, big slide there. Just about gets it under control again.
You worked him around.
Yes, I'm working the evening. Oh, Andrew Pittsmith's had a bit of a moment there. He's dropped down to 7th place. What has happened there to Andrew? What a shame there for him, as he's still running just behind Polish My Balls at the moment. But yeah, he's had a bit of a sketchy moment there. Tree Monkey Page still leads this race by around 0.8 of a second at the moment to Mark Bow. As we see, Polish My Balls has made the move on Enmorph, and there's a bit of carbon fibre going flying there. I don't see what must have been off the Haas car. As now Enmorph has got Andrew Haas in the back of him in this battle for 6th and 7th places. Bennett LCFC has pulled himself up onto the back of this battle here. Andrew obviously made a move on him a few laps ago now. Bennett's trying to get him back here as those soft tyres do start to wear off a little bit. But to be fair to Andrew, he put those soft tyres on right at the end of the safety car period, as now we see Bennett does breeze around his outside there out of the last corner, and Andrew's coming into the pits. Wow. Bit of a head scratcher there. Is he going to put the hards on and try and go to the end from here? Maybe get the pit stop done and out of the way and hope that he has a safety car or something. Who knows what his strategy is going to be. But Aldrich Avis setting fastest laps of the race here on his relatively fresh soft tyres, which he's done 2 laps on so far. But we see True Monkey Page leading this race at the moment, just ahead of Mark Bow for the time being. But Mark Bow still keeping tabs with him, as Tree Monkey Page obviously started on the soft tyres. They're not as durable as the mediums, so he's on borrowed time, to be honest, in terms of like how long those tyres are actually going to last. As Mark Bow still keeping tabs with him on the medium tyres. Horatio, San, Polish My Balls in 3rd, 4th and 5th places. They all started on the softs as well, so they need to get into the pits soon and get those tyres changed, as they're going to be starting to go off a bit. You got Enmorph and Bennett both started on the hard tyres. They've got plenty left on those. They'll have a rubber in abundance there to keep them going. They've got a bit of a gap back to Malky, as we see Bennett looking to the outside of Enmorph looking to the outside of Polish My Balls. Can he get the inside for this final turn here? This double right-hander. Looks as though Polish My Balls holds there on the inside ahead of Enmorph. Great driving. Enmorph's going to try and get the cut back around the outside of the last corner. He's going to tuck back into the slipstream here, coming down onto the start-finish straight. Going to be a bit of DRS train here. Bennett's not going to be able to use the DRS to its full effect. But we see now Enmorph pulling out of the slipstream, looking to the inside of Polish My Balls, as now he's going to try and make this move into turn 1. And Bennett's going to look around the outside here of Polish My Balls. Polish My Balls losing 2 positions in the space of a couple hundred metres there. What a shame for Polish My Balls. He's going to be frustrated with that. Nothing he could do with the DRS behind him. And Enmorph and Bennett get themselves up into 5th and 6th places respectively. In the meantime, Aldrich Avis has got a 3-second time penalty for corner cutting. Monkey Page is still leading the race, but Mark Bow even is all over the back of him here in this battle, as we see True Monkey Page has obviously got the lead off of Mark Bow in the early stages when he had the tyre advantage. Now Mark Bow starting to come back to him, I think, a little bit. Sector 2, we've got double wave yellow flags. What are they for? Malky and Polish My Balls. Oh no! Those two have come together here on lap 12 of 33. Oh, Polish My Balls is parked up by the side of the road, letting a few cars come through. I don't know if he's going to be retiring the car in a minute. Double wave yellows are still there through sector 2. Oh no! Oh, what a shame there between those two. Malky's off and on his way, but Bennett up into 6th place. Aldrich Avis into 7th. Aldrich's already made his pit stop. Let's not forget that one, as he's probably going to do a 2-stopper, I would imagine. Get these to try and go to about lap 18 or 19 and then put the mediums on to the end. That's the obvious strategy that I would see at this point for Aldrich Avis. But the timings have just left us here, so we have absolutely no idea what the timings are. But now we've got them back again. So we've got Truman Capage leading the race ahead of Mark Bowe by 0.6 of a second at the moment as they're coming down the back straight here for the 13th time. Mark Bowe still sticking to the back of him, still doing a good job as we see Bennett's now ahead of Morph. And Morph is off, that's why Morph is down to 7th place here. He's lost out to Aldrich Avist. And Morph there is now well off the back of Bennett. So he's had a major moment there. It looks like he hasn't got too much damage on that car, but it's not going to have helped him in terms of his race. He's lost a bit of time there to the leaders. True Monkey Page has now got a bit of a buffer to Mark Bowe here. He's got just over a second of a gap. It's Mark Bowe there is running in P2 at this point. He's got just under 8 seconds back to Horatio running in 3rd place. Horatio is a little bit off the pace of the front two, but he's not too far off of their pace. He's kind of just, you know, not keeping. He's keeping them honest. And I'll tell you what, if he didn't get dropped a little bit at the start, then he might have had a bit more motivation to keep pushing and keep himself in that fight. But right now, True Monkey Page is setting fastest laps of the race on 13 lap old soft tyres. That's no mean feat there. That's pretty incredible from True Monkey Page. There's no other word for it, really. That's absolutely fantastic driving here from this man in the Alpha Tower. He's putting away from his teammate Mark Bowe a little bit. Mark Bowe on the medium tyres. You'd think that they'd be hanging in there a bit better than True Monkey Pages, but supposedly not. But Horatio there running in 3rd place, 8 seconds off the lead. He's got a further 5 seconds back to San at the moment. Bennett LCSC is running in 5th place, 20 seconds off the lead as we see Blue Devil fans made the move on Malky up into 8th place, and Malky and Polish My Balls both coming into the pits at the end of lap 13 here. But a gap kind of staying at around the same between True Monkey Page and Mark Bowe. It's not really going up, it's not really going down, it's kind of just hovering at the same sort of margin. But I fear that True Monkey Page's tyres are going to surely go off any second now. That's what logic tells me, but apparently not, and he's staying out still. He's making these tyres last an absolute age. So Horatio into the pits here at the end of lap 14. So is San. So the softs maybe their window a little bit longer around here. I don't know. I wouldn't have thought that tyre wear would be that much less around this track. To be honest, I thought it'd be a bit more, but apparently not. So Bennett up into 3rd place. Aldrich Avist into 4th. Aldrich Avist, we mustn't forget, has already been into the pits. But he's 2 stopping in this race, and we believe that True Monkey Page and Mark Bowe are both 1 stopping. So really Aldrich Avist has got not much hope of winning this race, I would say. As we see San there losing out to Blue Devil fan. But it's really between these two for the win, I've got to say, and at this point it's difficult to really choose a winner. I mean, True Monkey Page has managed to make these soft tyres last a very long time, and you know, fair play to him for being able to do that. But Mark Bowe's going to have the soft tyres on for his 2nd stint. If Mark Bowe can keep these mediums going until, I don't know, lap 19 or 20, then he'll definitely have the ascendancy in this one. As we see, True Monkey Page is now into the pits, so I assume he's going to put the mediums on and try and go 18 laps on those mediums. So let's see here. I would be very surprised if we don't see the yellow mark medium tyres going onto his Alpha Tauri as he comes into the box. What are we going to see here? Yeah, medium tyres there for True Monkey Page, and off and away he goes once again. So Mark Bowe really needs to go another 3 or 4 laps, I would say, to sort of cover off any possibility of his soft tyres going off at the end. I'd say if he gets to about lap 19, lap 20, that should probably do him nicely, and he'd be able to fight it out and probably have a pace advantage over his teammate True Monkey Page. Aldrich Avist has got to come into the pits again. I think we know that for sure. So he really needs a safety car to bring himself into this race. As we see, Aldrich's got ahead of Bennett, but Bennett's going to get the cut back on him out of this left-hander here. These two having a great little scrap. As Aldrich's now looking back to the inside, Bennett's going to try and hold this around the outside. Oh, they're not giving each other an inch here. As Aldrich Avis there squeezes back up the inside of Bennett and up into P2 in this race, but Bennett's still trying to hold it on. In the end, has to back out, thinks better of it. Aldrich Avis on soft rubber compared to Bennett's hard tyres. So Aldrich Avis there seeing Bennett off with that little challenge. But Bennett is there, not in a bad position in this race. He's still got a pit at some point in this race, I would imagine. I tell you what though, I mean, look, we've seen soft tyres in this race go quite a way. We've seen some drivers make the soft tyres last 15 laps. I reckon maybe the mediums could last about 20, 21 laps, 22 laps maybe at a push. So I don't know. I mean, at this stage, who knows? Maybe Bennett could make the hard tyres last 30 laps. I wouldn't rule it out. As we see, Aldrich Avis is into the pits, so we obviously knew that Aldrich needed to come in again at some point. He wants to get those soft tyres off and put the mediums on now, and he'll be able to go to the end quite comfortably on those medium tyres. But Mark Bowe and Tree Monkey Page looking like the two contenders for this race win here. Mark Bowe still yet to pit. Tree Monkey Page has come into the pits, and he's on the back of Bennett LCFC now. To be honest, like, I don't know if Bennett's going to try and stay out on the hards and nick a podium from this. Could potentially be a possibility. Bennett is obviously, I think he's leading the championship down to, well, sheer consistency really in this realistically, because he's not been winning races, I'll tell you that. He's been up there in a lot of them, but Bennett LCFC is one of those drivers. He's extremely quick on this game, and in equal performance cars he is the man to beat in the XL League. You see it in the OG League on a Wednesday and a Sunday. He's always the guy who's, like, you know, pretty much winning most of the races, let's be honest. And so he's leading the championship really through consistency. Could this be an Alonso 2012 type of season here for Bennett LCFC? I'm saying it now. I know it's early doors in this season, but you know, the consistency that he's been able to put on the board in an Alfa Romeo, I think he's trying to do an Alonso. Consistent podium finishes, you know, week in, week out. Maybe, just maybe, it could be a possibility for Bennett. He's going to have to go, what, 30 laps on these hard tyres to get them to the end. But, I mean, if any man can do it, Bennett LCFC surely the one you'd put your money on. But Tree Monkey Page just got ahead of him anyway, up into second place. And obviously Mark Bowe, the race leader, needs to come into the pits at some point, because he's not going to make those mediums last 33 laps. Plus, as anyone who watches F1 will know, there is a mandatory pit stop in every Grand Prix. So regardless of if he can get the mediums to last 33 laps or not, he still needs to come into the box to change tyres at least once throughout the course of this race. When's he going to do it though? That is the big question. We saw his teammate Tree Monkey Page making the soft last around 15 laps at the start of the race, but Mark Bowe's going to try and keep these mediums going, I think, for as long as he can, so he can really rip into those softs, because obviously Tree Monkey Page had the soft on in the first stint. Mark Bowe's going to have the softs on in the second stint, so all the time that Tree Monkey Page was able to gain while having the soft on in the first stint, Mark Bowe's going to get back at him in the second stint. But the question is, can Mark Bowe look after his tyres as impressively as Tree Monkey Page did in the first stint? That's going to be the question that I suppose is on everybody's lips at the moment, and you know, we're going to find that out over the course of this next 14 laps. So we see Tree Monkey Page going quicker on the mediums than he has at any point on the soft tyres, so he was clearly trying to just make those soft to last as long as he could. I reckon Mark Bowe's probably best advised staying out for a little bit yet, so he can absolutely go ham on those soft tyres. Otherwise he might find himself coming up a bit short here in this race. Tree Monkey Page is now able to really push, which he wasn't able to do on those soft tyres. When he was on the soft, he wasn't able to really take the life out of them properly, but now that he has got the mediums on and he can easily get to the end, he's got that little weight lifted off his shoulders now, and he can just show everybody what he can do. He can really extract the full potential out of those tyres and out of that Alpha Tauri car. As we've got some comments rolling on here, Grace Curtis says VOHFYI. Great stuff, yeah, couldn't agree more. Stomer says, which track? It's Portimao, Portugal. And Cameron Poulter says, whoops, might have fell asleep and missed the race. Oh, Cameron, what are you like? Well, unfortunately for you, mate, you're missing out on a good battle here. You could have been in the thick of it with Mark Bowe and True Monkey Page. These two in a bit of a strategic battle here. Sorry, not Mark. Yeah. No, yeah. What am I talking about? Yeah. Mark Bowe and True Monkey Page have been having a good battle so far in this race. True Monkey Page has already been into the pits. He started on the softs and he's switched to the mediums. Mark Bowe started on the mediums and he's got to do a soft stint. But True Monkey Page, I think, has probably been very easy on those soft tyres in the first stint. And I do have a point and evidence and explanation for this, so hear me out. So True Monkey Page did put the soft tyres on at the start, but I think he was taking it easy. I think he was trying to make them last a little while so he could do a one stop and put the mediums on, because he managed to make them last 15 laps. And literally as soon as he put these mediums on, within a couple of laps, he was setting fastest laps of the race. And considering he was leading the race on the softs before that, I think he might have been maybe trying to save those softs in order to do that one stopper. So True Monkey Page currently running in second place. He's 18 seconds behind the leader. The pit stop's around 23, 24, 25 seconds. So True Monkey Page will have to lead, but Mark Bowe on his way into the pits now, and with 13 laps left, can Mark Bowe close a 4-5 second deficit over 13 laps with the faster tyre on? Or is he going to take too much life out of these soft tyres that he's about to put on? That is going to be what we're going to find out over the course of the next few laps of this race. So True Monkey Page will take the lead. Or will he? Yes, he does. Yep, there he is. So he's in the lead there into turn one. And this could be frustrating here for Mark Bowe, because he might lose out to Bennett as well. So Bennett LCFC comes through into second place. Bennett, we believe, has got to come into the pits again. I'll be very, very surprised if Bennett doesn't come in. And if he doesn't come in, then he's going to be pretty slow towards the end of the race, because his tyres are going to be absolutely falling to pieces by the time we get to the end.
Are you going to work tomorrow, honey?
Yep.
What time?
I'm working at 2 until 10 then.
2 until 10?
Yep.
Oh, no, it's not tomorrow that we're going. Would you be able to help get some of those things downstairs?
Yeah, of course. So Bennett LCFC still running in second place. Looks like Mark Bowe's got ahead of him here down in towards turn one. So Bennett was obviously holding Mark Bowe for a little bit, but now Mark is going to be released in order to try and chase down his rival for this race win, True Monkey Page. True Monkey Page. Yep. True Monkey Page out there at the moment. He's got just under a 5-second gap at the moment over Mark Bowe. So Mark Bowe's really got to push these soft tyres to their limit. The question is he going to take too much out of them before the end of the race, and maybe they might start to fall off a little bit. But True Monkey Page did manage to make his soft tyres last 15 laps in the first stint, but we have a suspicion he wasn't pushing them 100%. Got some quite big gaps between the rest of the pack at the moment. Not really any battles going on at this point, but Mark Bowe on those fresh soft tyres really starting to make gains. He's already gained almost a second to True Monkey Page since making the pit stop. What, Derby?
Apple Derby.
Oh no, Derby races on Wednesdays and Fridays. Yeah. Derby Bay, if you're watching, my nan is a big fan. But right now we've got True Monkey Page leading this race by 3.5 seconds as we're coming around the final corner out onto the start finish straight, and it's going to be 11 laps to the finish here. Lap 23 of 33. Mark Bowe has just done the fastest lap of the race there. You see that on 1 minute 19.557. He's continuing to take chunks out of True Monkey Page's lead here. And at this rate, if he continues to gain it the amount that he is, I can't see True Monkey Page having any defence when Mark Bowe pulls up onto the back of him. Mark Bowe is on a mission here in this race. But again, the big point is he taking too much out of these soft tyres to get them all the way until the end? Soft tyres last about 8 or 9 laps at full pelt and then start to go off a little bit. Question is, will they come off the cliff, or will he be able to eke them out all the way to the checkered flag? True Monkey Page obviously went 15 laps on his in the first stint, but we know that True Monkey Page was being very, conservational on those tyres in that first stint. So it's all to play for here between these two. Mark Bow is continuing to make massive gains on the race leader though. And look at this, you can see them in the same shot there. There's only 2 seconds separating them as they're about to come out of the last corner out onto the start-finish straight. True Monkey Page has got the lead for now, but for how much longer is he going to be able to cling on to this one? Mark Bow's really coming after him here at this stage in the race. 1.7 now the gap. Mark Bow a little bit off of that previous fastest lap that he set on the previous lap. The soft tyres are going to go off very, very quickly at the rate that he's going, the amount that he's pushing that AlphaTauri. I think that he might find himself open at the end. Big shout out, honourable mention here goes to Bennett LCFC, running in 3rd place at the moment. He's trying, I think he's going to try and get these hard tyres to go the distance. That would be no mean feat. He's still only 3/10 off of his personal best coming through that first sector there. Can he get them another 9 laps in this race? That would be an incredible feat from Bennett if he would be able to do so. True Monkey Page and Mark Bow separated by 8/10 now. The battle at the front really starting to heat up. Mark Bow put these soft tyres on at the end of lap 20. True Monkey Page put those medium tyres on lap what was it? I think he put them on was it lap 15 he put them on, so he's been on them for quite a while now. Sorry? But here we come then, out onto the start finish straight again. 9 laps left to go here at Excel for the realistic F1 League here on a Monday night here for Portugal, for the Portuguese Grand Prix at Portimao. And Mark Bow starting to loom large in the mirrors of True Monkey Page at this point. It's got DRS here, you see that rear wing wide open, which reduces drag and increases your straight line speed if you're within 1 second of the car in front. That's always a good thing to have. We see San has made the move on M-Morph, but M-Morph's trying to come back at him here, coming in towards turn 3. They're side by side. San's going to try and hold this around the outside. M-Morph's still there, and M-Morph clings onto that one around the outside. Great driving, good racing here between these two. M-Morph holding on for P5. San now trying to go around the outside of this left-hand hairpin. Can he make it all the way? No, M-Morph's going to run him out. No, San does hold it around the outside. I'll tell you what, if that was real life, he would have had to get the position back there because he did that off the track. But yeah, a little bit naughty there from San. And then Morph back down the inside here, trying to throw one at him. Clearly not happy with that move from Sam on the previous corner, and they're still side by side as they're coming in towards the final sector. If Enmorph can keep it around the outside for this one, he'll be in the inside for the next corner, and he does. He gives him a bit of a tap out wide there, and Enmorph back up into 5th place here. Great racing here from these two. Good battle here, and Enmorph back up into 5th place. Tree Monkey Page has now got Mark Bow bearing down on him here, and Mark Bow breezes around the outside of turn 1 up into the lead of the race, predictably there on those fresh soft tyres. He has now got himself into the lead, and Tree Monkey Page, what has he got to offer him here? Mark Bow obviously put these soft tyres on with 13 laps left in this race, so his tyres might start to go off maybe in the last couple of laps. Can Tree Monkey Page keep himself close and potentially be in striking distance in case of Mark Bow's tyres starting to wear away? Tree Monkey Page himself is going to have to go 18 laps on these medium tyres, but it might even be closest to which one of them hits the cliff first, to be honest. But I think Mark Bow might just be alright. 13 laps on the softs should be doable. He needs to start looking after his tyres now though, because he's been really taking a lot out of them since the pit stop. Who do you think is going to win? Who's your money on, Nana?
I suppose it better be Tree Monkey, hadn't it, Paige? Because I like the monkey family.
Nana wants Tree Monkey Page to win this. I think it's going to take some doing to beat Mark Bow at this point. He seems to be in control of this one on those fresh soft tyres, but as I said before, if those tyres start to wear off a little bit, then we might be seeing a big switcheroo at the top of that leaderboard. We see Mark Bow there 4/10 off his personal best. I think he's now starting to try and conserve these tyres a little bit. He knows that they're not going to be in the sweet spot for much longer. About to sneeze. Oh. But 1.3 seconds currently separating these two big guns here at Portugal for the realistic F1 League. We've got Bennett there running in third place. He's 11 seconds off with the lead, and we know that Bennett is going to try and get these hard tyres to go the distance. Would be an incredible feat from Bennett if he's able to go 30 laps on these hard tyres. He's giving it a real good go at this point though. Here come the leaders out of the last corner, about to start lap 28 of 33. 6 laps left to go here for Mark Bowen and Tree Monkey Page. What has Tree Monkey Page got to try and offer Mark Bowen these final few laps? Has he got anything left in the tank to throw up a bit of a curveball here for the race leader? If he's got anything, he's got to deliver it now. It's now or never for Tree Monkey Page, but Mark Bowen seemingly in control of this race. Looking down the order, Aldrich Abbist and Andrew Pittsmith looking pretty close. I think Aldrich might have just made the move on Andrew actually up into 6th place. So he's done that somewhere through the middle sector now. Aldrich Abbist trying to set about after San, who's a long way up the road to be fair. Blue Devil fan's just got a 10-second penalty for corner cutting. He must have taken quite a chunk out of the track there. Oh, look at that. Blue Devil fan there. Making up his own circuit. One rule for the others, one rule for you, son. But Mark Bow out there in front, still got a 1.4 second lead here in this race. Tree Monkey Page still keeping him on his toes, keeping him honest. So coming out of the last corner out onto lap 29, 5 laps left to go here at Portimao. Looking elsewhere, Andrew's still sticking to the back of Aldrich Avis despite being on much older tyres and despite being on the hards. So fair play to Andrew. Looks like Aldrich Avis had a nightmare of a race tonight. There's no other word for it. He's not showed the pace and the consistency that we've seen on a Friday night at Motive. Obviously this on Motive, but he's driving in a Haas to be fair. So you know it's a miracle that he's even scoring the number of points that he is. But obviously a very, very quick driver in equal performance machinery like we see on a Friday night, but at the moment struggling here in P6. Andrew Pittsmith trying to find a way past him if he can. Up towards turn 1 they come. Andrew to look to the outside. Is he going to breathe around the outside? He is. Look at that. As he goes a little bit wide though, carried a bit too much speed into the corner, and Aldrich is back up the inside for turn 3 up into 6th place once again. These two having a good little scrap in the closing stage of this race, and Aldrich is still holding on for P6 for the time being. Andrew will get DRS down the back straight. Is he going to have a chance coming in towards this tight left hand bend? No, he's not. Aldrich holds on to P6 for the time being. In the meantime, Mark Bow's got a 2-second lead now over Tree Monkey Page as they're now starting lap 30 off 33. It's looking like Mark Bow's got this one in the bag unless he has a simply monumental capitulation in the final part of this race. Aldrich still keeping Andrew at bay just about, but these two having a very exciting scrap here. Mark Bow's just putting a lap there on a back marker. That's Polish My Balls there moving out of the way, and we see him getting out of the way for Tree Monkey Page as well there. So good courteous driving there from Polish My Balls, seeing both the leaders coming around. Andrew Pittsmith still just ahead of Aldrich Avis here, coming out of the last corner out into the start finish, and Andrew's now defending all over the place, but Andrew's got the move done on Aldrich Avis. Aldrich's going to try and come back in him here. DRS aid, he looks to the outside here. Can he get back around him in towards turn 1? The Haas has got no straight line speed whatsoever. The Alpine's trying to push him out, and in fact no, Aldrich Avis is going to try and go all the way around the outside of turns 2 and 3, but Andrew fends him off, and looks like he's got that move done up into P6 completed there. Enmorph's now closing up onto the back of these guys. Whilst these two battle it out, it's now bringing him into contention here. As now Aldrich's throwing a little feint to the inside. He's going to go for it down the inside. Commits one, but Andrew's going to hold it around the outside, and in the end runs wide and holds onto the position as a result. The track limits really are being abused at the moment, but Aldrich's now looking to try and make this move around the outside of this next sequence of corners, but Andrew's going to fend him off for now. And Aldrich's going to lose out here to Enmorph. Enmorph sneaking through, so Aldrich getting a bit of a shaky run there coming through that sequence, and Enmorph is up into 7th place. That's his teammate there. Aldrich not having the race at all. I said before, I was making excuses for him, saying he is in a Haas to be fair, but he's just been overtaken by his teammate. As we see Enmorph looking to the inside of Andrew, can't get anything done there. Although to be fair, Enmorph is on fresh soft rubber compared to Aldrich, who's on 12 lap old medium tyres, so that could be the reason why. Also throw in that Enmorph isn't a bad driver at all, but he's on the back of Andrew right now as they're coming out of the last corner. Enmorph's going to have DRS here on the Alpine of Andrew Pittsmith. Here we go, DRS open now, and Enmorph's going to look to the inside, side by side, down the start finish straight here to start lap 31. 3 laps left to go in this race for these guys, as now we see Enmorph making that move down the inside of Andrew up into 6th place. Routine stuff there from Enmorph. Can now try and drive away on those fresh soft tyres from Andrew and his teammate Aldrich Avist. In the meantime though, Mark Bow and Tree Monkey Page separated by 2 seconds. The gap's kind of staying around the same. Tree Monkey Page, by the time we get to the end of this race, will have done 18 laps on those medium tyres. Mark Bow, once we get to the end, will have done 13 laps on his. And these two hanging in there. They're both pushing their tyres to the upper limits of their threshold. But Mark Bow at the moment looking pretty strong. He's just keeping Tree Monkey Page more or less at arm's length at this point in the race. Aldrich Avist still pretty close on the back of Andrew Pittsmith here. You see these two separated by not much at all. Enmorph there running in 6th place has managed to gap them a little bit. But Mark Bow's got a lap and a half left to go here for the Portuguese Grand Prix at Portimao in the XL Realistic F1 League. As Marbo's got just over a lap left to go here in this race. He's been absolutely fantastic over the course of this one. He was pretty close to Tree Monkey Page in the first stint. Tree Monkey managed to make this soft tyres that he started the race on last him 15 laps, which was absolutely incredible. Mark Bow went 19 laps on his first set of medium tyres, came in, no, 20 laps he went actually. Put the mediums on, so put the softs on at the end of the lap 20. He's done 13 laps on these. To be fair, both of these two in the AlphaTauri have done absolutely fantastic to have been able to do a one-stopper in this race. They've really eked their tyres out brilliantly. And to be fair, this man here, Bennett LCFC, is just starting his 32nd lap on these hard tyres. I don't know how he's managed to do that. That is borderline unbelievable that Bennett's managed to do this. What a job. He's tiptoeing around. You can see he is absolutely down to the canvas on those hard tyres, but I think he's going to get round just about and he should be able to hold on for a podium here. So Bennett LCSC doing an Alonso 2012 in that Alfa Romeo in this realistic league. Bear in mind that the car performance is exactly as you would expect in the 2021 season, so realistic car performance in this league. Brilliant stuff from Bennett. But Mark Bow in the AlphaTauri is going to lead home an AlphaTauri 1-2 ahead of Tree Monkey Page. These two have put on a great show. Tree Monkey Page has really pushed on this final lap, but I think the checkered flag is going to come just in time here for Mark Bow. As in fact, they're just slowing down here, I assume for a formation finish of some sort. But Mark Bow out of the last corner is going to come up towards the checkered flag, and it's going to be the victory here for Mark Bow. Congratulations on a great drive there as the two AlphaTauris cross over the line together. What a drive. Dominance from these two boys. Managed to make the one stopper work, each of them there. Judged it to perfection. Bennett LCFC is going to come over to complete the podium there in 3rd place. Horatio, not too far behind there, comes over in 4th. Not too bad of a result there for Horatio. Another big hats off to these two in the AlphaTauris. Mark Bow and Tree Monkey Page demolished the rest of the field tonight. Hats off to these boys. Sam comes over to take 5th place here in the McLaren. Enmorph is coming through the final corner now, and he's going to finish this one in 6th place in the Haas. Managed to pull away quite a bit from Andrew and Aldrich at the end. Andrew did manage to pull out the gap to Aldrich Avist as well. So Enmorph comes over in 6th place, followed by Andrew Pittsmith in 7th. Aldrich Avist is going to finish this race in 8th place. Blue Devil fan coming out of the last corner now. He's going to finish this one in 9th place there as he comes over the line. Malky's going to finish this one in 10th place. He's just ahead of Nobby Bootneck, who will be the last driver to finish. Polish My Balls and Ben Smith have both finished the race already as Malky comes over to finish the race in 10th. Nobby Bootneck in 12th. But Mark Bowe, this man here in the number 13 Alpha Tauri, is your race winner here in Portimao for the Portuguese Grand Prix for the XL Realistic F1 League here on the PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5. A big thank you to everybody who watched this, and make sure that you hit a like on the video. If you're one of the drivers watching this back after the race, I hope you enjoyed. If you do, please drop a like, subscribe if you haven't already, and we will catch you all in the next one. Have a great evening.